Hey guys, I'm just gonna play Hearthstone for it's been a long time. You know that one community post that said I quit, but I didn't. Okay, I did play it sometimes, but not that much. I usually go to the console commands for no reason. Today, I'm going to play as German. But Alright, you know what? I'm gonna. What do you mean there's cheats? How is there? Wait, what? I don't know if there's cheats. Wait a minute. There's no cheats. There ain't no cheats. There ain't no cheats. Bro, there's no cheats. What's my files? Don't mind about no. What do you mean there's cheats? There are no cheats. Do that, but I just did it. Alright, wait, disregard. Alright. Sorry for the 2 minutes. But I'll be back, okay? Wait. I can't stop recording. I guess we're going to play this way. Okay, there's a little bit. Let me just set this up a little bit. I might need to get. Let's see. This guy. This is what I usually do. Okay? This is my classic. Wait, we need a Benson more. Oh yeah, a Benson. It lowered countries, England. Are you serious? I mean, so I can protect my country. All right, deploy. Cavalry.
Achtung! Achtung! Befehle! Achtung! Angetreten!
I am speaking to you from the cabinet
Befehle!
10 Downing Street.
Achtung!
This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin
Angetreten!
handed the German government a final note
Angetreten!
stating that unless we heard from them
Bereit.
by 11
Well,
o'clock,
actually, what I usually
that they were prepared
Achtung.
at once to withdraw their troops from Poland, the
Angetreten!
war would exist between us. I
Bereit!
have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received,
Angetreten!
and that consequently this country is at war with Germany.
Angetreten!
Okay, so achievements got
You can imagine
mod.
what a
That
bitter blow it is to me that all my long struggle to win peace has failed. Yet I cannot believe that there is anything more or anything different that I could have done and that would have been more successful. Up to the very last, it would have been quite possible to have arranged
just
a
started
peaceful
for
and
1
honorable
second.
settlement between
Alright,
Germany and
let's go.
Poland.
Bereit!
But Hitler would not have it. He
Angetreten!
evidently made up his mind to attack Poland, whatever happened.
Angetreten!
And although he now says he put
Right.
forward reasonable proposals which were rejected by the Poles, that is not a true statement. The proposals were never shown to the Poles, nor to us.
Okay, so mountains are
And the
bad.
German broadcast on
Alright, let's
Thursday,
start. Wow, what
Hitler did
just
not
happened?
wait to
We
hear comments on them,
just stopped for 2 seconds.
ordered his
Wait,
troops to cross the Polish frontier the next morning. His action shows convincingly that there is no chance of expecting that this man will ever give up his practice of using force to gain his will. He can only be stopped by force. And we in France are today, in fulfillment of our obligations, going to the aid of Poland, who is so bravely resisting this wicked and unprovoked attack upon her people. We never fear punishment. We have done all that any country could do to establish peace.
what was supposed to do
In
with
which
this?
no
Yeah,
word
yeah,
given
Sweden.
by Germany's ruler could be trusted, and no people or country could feel itself safe, had become intolerable. And now that we have resolved to finish it, I know that you will all play your part with calmness and courage.
Yeah, might do this later. I'm sweating. There's a little air conditioner. I'm sweating.
This is the voice of freedom. General MacArthur speaking. People of the Philippines, I have returned. By the grace of Almighty God, our forces stand again on Philippine soil. Soil consecrated in the blood of our two people. We have come, dedicated and committed to the task of destroying every vestige of enemy control over your daily lives, and of restoring, upon a foundation of indestructible strength, the liberties of your people. At my side is your president, Sergio Osmeña, worthy successor of that great patriot, Manuel Quezon, with members of his cabinet. The seat of your government is now therefore
What is
firmly
Martin?
re-established on Philippine soil. The hour of your redemption
Right.
is here.
Nothing left.
Your patriots have demonstrated an unswerving and resolute devotion to the
Hey, hold
principles
up.
of
We're
freedom
trying to
that
turn off
challenges
this.
the best that is written on the pages of
Right.
human history. I now call upon your supreme
We have
effort
60,
that the enemy may know from the temper of an aroused and outraged people within that he has a force there to contend with no less violent than is the force committed from without.
Alright, are we doing?
Let the indomitable
We're
spirit
doing not
of
good.
man
We're
restore
not
dawn.
doing good.
As the lines
Just
of
need a
battle
break.
roll forward to bring you within the zone of operations, rise and strike. Strike at every favorable opportunity. For
Can
your
I
homes
have
and hearts,
some
strike.
manpower?
For future generations of your sons and daughters, strike. In the name of your sacred dead, strike.
Yes.
Let no
What?
heart be faint.
Are you
Let
serious?
every arm be steel.
Are you serious?
Guidance of
And
divine
now they
God
just
points the
lose
way.
one.
Follow in His name to the holy
No,
grail
back then,
of righteous victory.
Norway, also Sweden. Back this. Are they good in Africa? I think they're good. Yeah, they're good. Okay, we are.
Mr.
This is
Speaker,
kind of a weird shape.
on Friday
Is there like
evening
a
last,
gap here?
I received
Right.
All right.
for the new administration
Angetreten.
evident wish
Ausrücken.
brought in
All right.
should include all, both those who supported state government
All right.
I've completed the most important part of this task. A war cabinet has been formed of 5 members, representing
All right.
the unity of the nation. The 3 party leaders have agreed to serve either in the war cabinet or in high executive office.
All right.
The 3 fighting services have been filled. It was necessary that this should be done
Angetreten.
in one single day, on account of the extreme urgency and rigor of events. A number of other key petitions were filled yesterday, and I'm submitting a further list to His Majesty tonight.
Get transferred.
I hope to complete the appointment of the principal ministers during tomorrow. The appointment of the other ministers usually takes a little longer, but I trust that when Parliament meets again, this part of my task will be completed, and that the administration will be complete in all respects. Sir, I considered it in the public interest to suggest that the House should be summoned to meet today. Mr. Speaker agreed and took the necessary steps in accordance with the powers conferred upon him by the resolution.
Yeah, thank you.
At the end of the proceedings today, the adjournment of the House will be proposed until Tuesday, the 31st of May, with the permission for earlier meeting if need be. The business to be considered during that week will be notified to members at the earliest opportunity. I now invite the resolution which stands in my name
All right.
recording approval of the steps taken and an
All right.
of the new government. Sir, to form an administration of this scale and complexity is a serious undertaking in itself. But it must be remembered that we are in the preliminary stage of one of the greatest battles in history. That we are in action at many points in
Is this
Norway and in
already
Holland.
Italian
That we have to be
Empire?
prepared in the
Oh,
Mediterranean.
they're dying over here.
That the air battle is continuous.
Yes, they're attacking.
And that many
Oh.
preparations have to be made here at home.
So, what?
In this crisis, I hope
What's
I may
the
be
point of
pardoned if I
Hungary,
do not address
Slovakia?
the House at any length today. I hope that any of my friends and colleagues or former colleagues who are affected by the political reconstruction will make all allowances for any lack of ceremony with which it has been necessary to act. I would say to the House, as I said to those who joined the
Achtung!
toil, killer,
How much defense did he have? You only have
and before us an ordeal of the most grievous. Where before us many, many long months of hurdles. You are I will say it is the wage war by sea, land, and air. Our might, with all the strength that God can give us, to wage war against a monstrous tyranny never surpassed in the dark and lamentable catalogue of human crime.
Oh shit!
That is our
What
policy.
is?
You ask, what is our aim? I can answer in one word. Victory. Victory at all costs. Victory in spite of all terror. Victory however long and hard the road may be. But without victory there is no survival. No
Why we got
survival
that
for the
seat?
British Empire.
Get circled
No
that for like
survival for all
a
that the
long
British Empire stood
time.
for.
Angetreten!
Survival for the urge and impulse of the ages that mankind moves forward towards its goal. But I take up my task with buoyancy and hope.
Angetreten!
Our cause will not
Everybody,
be suffered to
walk.
Suchen Deckung!
Come then, let us go forward together with our united strength.
Yeah. Hey. I'm getting one vertical per day. We're fine. We're just attacking Poland. Very terrible.
There can be no
Ausrücken!
peace in the world until the
Yeah, right,
military
shut
power
up.
Los,
of
los,
Japan
los!
is destroyed. With the same completeness as was the power of the
Angetreten!
European dictators. To do that, we are now engaged in the process of deploying millions of our armed forces against Japan in a mass movement of troops and supplies and weapons over
Bereit!
14,000 miles. A military and naval feat unequaled.
Unter Beschuss!
Substantial portions of Japan's key industrial centers have been
Greif
leveled to
weiter
the
an!
ground
I disrespect me.
in a series of record incendiary raids.
Angetreten!
What has already happened to Tokyo will happen to every
Achtung!
Japanese city whose industries feed the Japanese war machine.
Achtung!
If the Japanese insist on continuing resistance beyond the point
Bereit!
of reason, their country will suffer the same destruction as Germany. Our goal will destroy their whole modern industrial plant and organization,
Achtung!
which they have built up during the past century, and which they are now devoting to a hopeless
Alright,
cause.
everybody. Are you?
We have no desire or intention to destroy or enslave the Japanese people,
Wait,
but only
not
surrender
this
can prevent the kind of ruin
Bereit!
which they have seen come to Germany as a result of continued useless resistance.
We should have tons of military back. I'm gonna get medium, I guess. This is wait, this is medium. It is medium. I'm gonna add some instruction faster. Rather, well, we shall. Wait, no. Wait, fine. Why did you take? Why, Italy? Why? What did I do to you?
no longer reign there. The seas bear only commerce.
They accept.
Men
But if
everywhere
I take their
walk
state,
upright
they
in
don't
the
accept.
sunlight. The entire world lies quietly at peace. The holy mission has been completed. And in reporting this to you, the people,
Everybody talk!
for the
Wait.
thousands of silent lips, forever still
Ah,
along the jungle and the beaches
This
and
is
in the deep
Quinn.
waters of the Pacific, which
Oh,
marks the
wait,
way.
they're pushing through.
I
They're pushing
speak
through.
for the unnamed brave millions homeward bound
When
to
did
take up the challenge of that future which they did so much to salvage from the brink of disaster. As I look back on the long, tortuous trail from those grim days of Bataan and Corregidor, when an entire world lived in fear, when democracy was on the defensive everywhere, when modern civilization trembled in the balance, I thank a merciful God that He has given us the faith, the courage, and the power from which to
and
move
then
victory.
it's over 5th.
We have known the
But
bitterness of
it's not
defeat
November.
and the exaltation of triumph. And from both, we have learned there can be no turning back.
Ausrücken!
We must go forward to preserve in peace what we won in war.
Breakthrough? Yeah, that's
A new era is upon us. Even the
What's
Western
this
victory itself
Dang. Who
brings
is
it
this guy talking about?
profound concern, both for our future security and the survival of civilization.
You can't just say,
The destructiveness of the war
that I
potential
say,
through progressive advances in scientific discovery has, in fact, now reached a point which revises the traditional concept of war.
who cares? Sammy! Aw, we don't have that good relations yet.
Men since the beginning of time have sought peace. Various methods through the ages have been attempted to devise an international
Achtung!
process to
Yes,
prevent
yes,
several
yes,
disputes
more songs.
creation.
Achtung!
From the very start, workable methods were found
Bereit!
so far as individual citizens were concerned. But the mechanics of an instrumentality of larger international scope have never been successful.
Bro, you just said the one
Military
reason
alliances,
2
balances
seconds
of
and then...
power, leagues of nations, all in turn failed, leaving the only path to be by way of the crucible of war. The utter destructiveness of war now blots out this alternative. We have had our last chance. If we do not devise some greater and more equitable system, our martyrdom will be at our door. The problem basically is theological. A spiritual reproducence and improvement of human character that will synchronize with our almost matchless advance in science, art, literature, and all material and cultural developments of the past 2,000 years. It must be of the spirit if we are to save the flesh. We stand in
Oh my, what is going on?
reminiscent of our countryman Commodore Perry 92 years ago. His purpose was to bring to Japan an era of enlightenment and progress by lifting the veil of isolation to the friendship, trade, and commerce of the world.
Storm.
But alas, the knowledge thereby gained of Western science was forged into an instrument of oppression and human enslavement. Freedom of expression, freedom of action, even freedom of thought were denied through suppression of liberal education, through appeal to superstition, and through the application of force. We are committed by the Potsdam Declaration of Principles to see that the Japanese people are liberated from this condition of slavery.
Finally.
It is my purpose to implement this commitment just as rapidly as the armed forces are demobilized and other essential
Yes,
steps
we must
taken
be a
to
boy.
neutralize the war
Iranian
potential.
nothing.
The energy of the Japanese race, if properly directed, will enable expansion vertically rather than horizontally. If the talents of the race are turned into constructive channels, the country can can lift itself from its present deplorable state into a position of dignity.
I hope
To the Pacific Basin has come the vista
Achtung!
of a new, emancipated world. Today, freedom is on the offensive. Democracy is on the march. Today,
Bereit.
in Asia as well as in Europe, unshackled
Angetreten.
are tasting the full sweetness of liberty, the relief from fear. In the Philippines,
Bereit.
America has evolved a model for this new free world of Asia. In the Philippines,
Bereit.
America has demonstrated that peoples of the East and peoples of the West may walk side by side in mutual respect and with mutual benefit. The history of our sovereignty there has now
Los, los, los!
confidence of the East.
Oh my, they're pushing
Countrymen,
on! They're pushing
today
on!
I report
I
to
feel like
you
we're losing some.
that your sons and daughters have served you well and faithfully with the calm, deliberate, determined fighting spirit of the American soldier and sailor, based upon a tradition of historical traits as against the fanaticism of an enemy supported only by mythologic conviction. Their spiritual strength and
White
power
Death.
has brought us
That's-
through to victory.
All has come to Finland.
They are homeward bound. Take care of them.
The shooting clubs are taking up arms to fight up the rock up versus the Finnish Susu before through the steam off the
Mr. Speaker, on Friday evening last, I received His Majesty's commission for the new administration. It was the
Take.
evident wish and will of Parliament and the nation that
Mine.
this should be conceived on the
Get in the
broadest
war.
possible
Guaranteed
basis,
independence too.
and that it should include all parties, both those who supported the late government and also the parties of the opposition. I have completed the most important part of this task. A war cabinet has been formed of 5 members, representing with the Liberal opposition the unity of the nation.
Achtung!
The 3 party leaders have agreed to serve either in the war cabinet or in the services have been
This is
filled.
definitely an average.
It was necessary that
Angetreten.
this should be done in one single day
Oh,
on account of the extreme urgency and rigor of events. A number of other key petitions were filled yesterday, and I am submitting a further list to His Majesty tonight. I hope
Angetreten.
to complete the appointment of the principal ministers during tomorrow.
Bereit.
The appointment of the other ministers usually takes a little longer. But I trust that when Parliament meets again, this part of my task will be completed. And that the
Achtung!
administration will be complete in all respects. Public interest to suggest that the House should be summoned to meet today. Mr. Speaker agreed and took the necessary steps in
Achtung!
accordance with the powers conferred upon him by the resolution of the House.
Angetreten.
At the end of the proceedings
Achtung!
today, the adjournment of the House will be proposed until Tuesday, the 21st
Right.
of May, with, of course, provision for
Right.
earlier meeting if need be. The business to
Right.
be considered during that week will be notified to members
Achtung!
at the earliest opportunity. I now invite the House, by the resolution which stands in my
Right.
name, to record its approval of the steps taken and to declare its
Achtung!
confidence in the new government. The form
Angetreten.
and administration of this scale and complexity is a serious undertaking in itself.
Achtung!
But it must be remembered that we are in the preliminary stage of one of the greatest battles in history. That that we are in action at many points in Norway and in Holland, that we have to be prepared in the Mediterranean, that the air battle is continuous, and that many preparations have to be made here at home. In this crisis, I hope I may be pardoned if I do not address the House at any length today. I hope that any of my friends and colleagues or former colleagues who are affected by the political reconstruction will make all allowances for any lack of ceremony with which it has been necessary to act. I would say to the House, as I said to those who joined the government, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat.
All right.
We have before us an ordeal of the most grievous kind. We have before us many, many long months of struggle and of suffering. You ask what is our policy. I will say it is to wage war by sea, land, and air, with all our might, with all the strength that God can give us. To wage war is
All right.
never so far in the darkest place.
Angetreten. All right.
What is our aim? I can answer in one word.
Angetreten.
Victory at all costs.
Befehle.
Victory in spite of all terror.
Bereit.
Victory however long and hard the road may be.
Ausrücken.
But without victory there is no survival. Let that be realized. No survival for the British Empire. No
Angetreten.
survival for all that the British Empire stood for. No survival for the urge and impulse of the ages that mankind will move forward towards its goal. But I take up my task with buoyancy and hope. I feel sure that our cause will not be suffered to fail among men. This time I feel entitled to claim the aid of all. And I say, come then, let us go forward together with our united strength.
Bereit.
This is a talk on national security. Because the nub of the whole purpose of your
Ausrücken.
is to keep you now, your children later, and your grandchildren much later, out of a last-ditch war for the preservation of American independence and of all the things that American independence
Achtung.
Don't even know what's going on.
Deckung. Angetreten. All right.
Nazi masters of Germany
Angetreten.
made it clear that they intend not only to dominate all life taught in their own country, but also to enslave the whole of Europe, then to use the resources of Europe to dominate the rest of the world. In view of the nature of this undeniable threat, it can be asserted properly and categorically that the United States has no right or reason to encourage
Angetreten.
talk of peace until the day shall
Befehle.
come when there is a clear intention on the
Achtung.
part of the aggressor nation to abandon all thought
Bereit.
of dominating or conquering the world. Forces of the states that are leagued against all people who live in freedom are being held away from our shores. The Germans and Italians are being blocked on the other side of the Atlantic by the British and by the Greeks and by thousands of soldiers and sailors who are able to escape from subjugated countries. The Japanese are being engaged in China, in Asia, by the Chinese nation
Yes.
in another great defense. In the Pacific Ocean,
Bye.
in